And now the real fun can begin. I'm Charlton with my 30 favorite matches of 2020 Countdown Part 2. Part 1 was a whole lot of fun, and now I get to the really praiseworthy stuff that I really fucking enjoyed. Please let me know your picks in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. We got about 2 weeks to go until 2021 is here, so let's go out with a fucking bang. Still got the least favorite matches list to do, so please look forward to that. So we get to number 15, Jeff Cobb versus Tomohiro Ishii, G1 Climax 30, Night 13. I expected it to be good. I didn't expect it to be this goddamn good. Though I should have, because these two are world-class athletes. Tomohiro Ishii just beating the piss out of Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb with his great amount of suplexes and, great agility for a man that size. Met Jeff Cobb a couple times at indie shows. Great goddamn guy, by the way, if you ever get a chance to meet him. But seeing these two guys in a New Japan ring, being able to just go out there and tear it up and shine, shine very bright on a Night 13 event that was pretty goddamn loaded. This was really, really fucking good. Commentary losing their goddamn minds, their energy adding so much to this, and the pace never really slowed down. And with two big guys like this, you might have thought the pace would have slowed down a bit. But I've watched this match a few times, and it gets better and better. It is one of my favorite matches of the year. I almost put it in my top 10, but I decided, I want to spread it out a little bit, and it was still really goddamn good, though. Check this shit out if you haven't yet. Number 14, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenta, G1 Climax 30, Night 6. It's Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenta doing great submission wrestling with great strikes, and who can out-heal the other? Who could fucking do that? And, well, Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenta are two world-class athletes, and ZSJ, in my personal opinion, vastly underappreciated by a lot of fans. It seems like a lot of people maybe get bored by his technical skills, and I don't fucking get it, because you can watch this guy and not get bored if you understand technical wrestling and you appreciate it. No, he doesn't do, a lot of dives or a lot of, flippy shit and stuff like that. He doesn't need to, because he's that fucking good that he can just do what, he can just break you down, bend you into a goddamn pretzel, and then bend you from a pretzel into another pretzel. And then Kenta, who has really shined since leaving WWE last year, well, asking for his release and then getting into New Japan, turning heel and doing some really good stuff. Him and Zack Sabre Jr. put on a really good goddamn match here, and one that I think got kind of swept under the rug as far as appreciation in the G1 tournament. And it's not the only G1 match that I'm going to talk about on the rest of this list, but yeah, there's a lot of really great shit to see here. Then we get to number 13, Tomohiro Ishii versus Hiromu Takahashi, New Japan Cup quarterfinals. This is when I really wish that they would have just gone with Hiromu winning the New Japan Cup, even though I understood why they went with who they went with. Didn't exactly work out, but I got, as far as story, even if I didn't think the story played out, evil. I'm referring to evil. The whole evil heel turn wasn't exactly very fucking good. But Ishii and Hiromu, as far as a big man and a little man having a match, you believed Hiromu Takahashi could take down Tomohiro Ishii, who, by the way, is kind of a short guy, but he's a heavyweight, and Hiromu was able to finally take him down. This was really, really good. I was actually really surprised. I actually thought they would have Ishii beat Hiromu, but I'm glad they had Hiromu go, and then they ripped our heart out by having, oh god damn it, the whole thing with Okada. Good fucking god. But it was what it was. Hiromu did everything he could to take down Ishii, and it was a great goddamn match. Really, really great clash of styles, but just showed that Hiromu would not fucking quit. He would not be denied until the next match. But we then get to number 11, Sasha Banks versus Bayley, SmackDown Women's Championship, Hell in a Cell. Okay, was it overly gimmicked? Did they use a few too many weapons? Sure. You can say that about a lot of the Hell in a Cell matches, and, a lot of cage matches and stuff like that with the men and the women and whatever, but you know what? It deserved this kind of blow off, and that's what it fucking got. And it was really, 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 really fucking good. Maybe it wasn't as good as Sasha versus Becky. Maybe not that. But this was still really, really good, and it missed the top 10 only because there were a few other matches, including a couple WWE matches I had to put up here. But this was exactly what you would want in a blow-off to their long-running feud that I felt went on a little bit too long. It was really, really great shit, though. And Sasha Banks finally being able to beat Bayley. How could you not enjoy that? Honestly, how could you not enjoy this? This was just exactly the encapsulation a feud like this needed. And they made up for some of the bad booking and some of the shifty stuff and some of the fact, and then the fact maybe they stretched this out a little bit too long. Had this been in front of a full crowd, I think the fans would have been losing their minds if they could have seen through that goddamn red Hell in a Cell. I fucking hate that thing. But these two women tore it up, and I can only imagine how sore they were the next day. We then get to number 10, Tetsuya Naito versus Kazuchika Okada. Double Gold Dash, New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 14, Night 2. They finally rectified what they should have done at Wrestle Kingdom 12. Even though I got why they did it, because then Omega beat Okada and people wanted to see Omega win the championship, or see Omega chase the championship and win it, rather than see him hold it. I mean, and take a look at his feud after New Japan Dominion. I mean, because it pretty much bore out like that. His matches weren't bad, but it was better to see him win the championship. And okay, now what? Anyway, Okada and Naito, it should have ended with Naito winning at Wrestle Kingdom 12. It didn't, and they rectified it here, and the fucking crowd lost their goddamn mind. And Naito doing so much great shit, and Okada, I mean, fucking legendary, one of the best goddamn talents going today. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, because he is Big Match Okada for a reason. Yes, the whole Big Match John Cena thing. Would love to see Okada versus John Cena, at least a prime John Cena. But Okada could get a great match out of almost anybody. Almost anybody. That Jericho match was not all that good. But in all honesty, seeing this and finally righting the wrong of 2 years prior, there's no way you can't cheer for Tetsuya Naito. And then Kenta came in and ruined the goddamn thing. Oh, they wanted to kill him. Go back and watch the end of that. If you don't quite remember, go back and watch the end after Naito wins and Kenta, stops his celebration. The fans were ready to riot. They were ready to jump the rails. They had to get Kenta out of there right away. It was pretty insane. But this is great shit. And Naito winning both championships. For the love of God, separate both championships after Wrestle Kingdom, please. Because we don't need to see this continue to happen. Otherwise, you're just stunting the growth of the Intercontinental Championship that already was having some issues before this. But anyway, we get to number 9. Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly, NXT Championship Takeover 31. I mean, how could I not put it here? How could I not put it here? It was fucking great. How in the world could you not praise this match? It was two guys who, the amount of experience these guys have across multiple continents and multiple promotions, it's a long goddamn list. Kyle O'Reilly has developed into a pretty damn good promo, but he has also gotten it as far as like his different styles, his different work and stuff like that. The Muay Thai, the MMA influence he has. Finn Balor being the heel that he is here. Well, I mean, almost kind of the tweener. Like, he's just more like, as close to Prince Devitt as they will allow in New Japan. Fucking hell, if they allowed him to actually be full-on Prince Devitt, I don't think the NXT audience could handle it. But this was really, really good. The amount of, impactful maneuvers they hit, and the fact Finn Balor got his jaw broken at one point in a few places, and Kyle O'Reilly was certainly beat up. These two tore it down and tore it up, and every way of tearing. They just absolutely destroyed each other, and it was great goddamn wrestling. Great striking. It felt like a fucking struggle. It was really fucking good. It also proves the NXT Championship is kind of cursed right now because Finn Balor got injured and has not defended it since because, broken jaw. A little bit hard to wrestle with that. But still, really great shit. And then we get to number 8. Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi, G1 Climax 30, Night 5. Regardless of how anyone feels about Will Ospreay, and I'm talking stuff before, certain things came out and how I feel that Will Ospreay peaked in 2019, him and Shingo had basically as great of a match as they did at the Best of Super Juniors finals for 2019. And this was really, really good shit. How could you not appreciate what these two guys did? And Shingo and Will Ospreay, that could be a feud that could go on for a number of years. Off and on, obviously. Don't wrestle every single night. But they work well together. Will Ospreay's now a heavyweight. They had, they had a great clash, as far as like hitting each other with some pretty damn stiff clotheslines, but the agility, by both men, because Shingo is not a small guy. He hits hard, but he can also do some, not incredible dives, but he can do some, great stuff with agility that, holy shit, the way he hits some of those clotheslines and the way he can pop up and do some stuff. Will Ospreay slowing down a little bit was the right call. And the way they paced this match, it was just as good, if not better, than their Best of Super Juniors 2019 match. It's hard to compare the two, in all honesty, the more I think about it. But this was just as good. And going to be interesting to see where Ospreay goes as far as a heel. He doesn't beat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know where the fuck they're going to go with it. So we get to number 7. Shingo Takagi versus Kodabushi, G1 Climax Night 11. I mean, goddamn, how the fuck could this not be up here. I mean, it was Shingo and Kodabushi not killing each other, thankfully, even though Kodabushi damn sure tried to do that because he's fucking insane and hates his own neck for whatever reason. But the hard-hitting offense here was just world class. And the fact is, the G1, they made up for the fact that, fans weren't sure how much, how big a crowds there would be for the G1. And the fact that they weren't able to cheer, they're able to do the clapping and the stomping of their feet. You would not have known that the fans weren't able to cheer because they made a lot of noise during a match like this. And it was really, really great shit. And Shingo absolutely shined in this fucking G1. And Kodabushi, who still should be holding the briefcase, but nope, they had to give it to Jay White because they just can't let go of that. Kodabushi absolutely was just on a different level during this G1 as well. It was really fucking good, and these two tore it up. We get to number 6. Kodabushi versus Sonata, G1 Climax 30, the finals. This is the second highest ranked G1 match because there's one in the top 5. This, fucking great. That one of the closest goddamn near falls I have ever seen in a match. At least on a big stage. Red Shoes got within literally, a short beard hair of being a 3 count. Great goddamn near fall. I had to go back and re-watch it because there was one point where Kodabushi seemed to get his bell wrong, during that one spot, really, really awkward spot. I had to go watch it again. I had more of an appreciation for it because I had this further down on the list the first time. But it's hard not to appreciate what these two guys did. And it was like a 30-plus minute match. And it built and built and built. And once I got past that spot, once I was like, okay, this is what happened. This is how they did it. They made it work. And they built and built. And that close near fall, that's where they hooked the audience. And then Kodabushi was finally able to win. You could argue that Sonata winning wouldn't have been the worst call, but then they would have stolen his thunder by having Jay White beat him because they won't give up on Jay fucking White. You'll notice that Jay White is not on here because I get bored by a lot of Jay White's matches, even though he has good character work. But this was a great end to a tremendous G1 Climax 30 tournament. And now we get to number 5. Young Bucks versus Omega and Page, AEW Revolution. You may notice a stark lack of AEW matches in this top 15. It's not that AEW hasn't delivered some really good goddamn matches. And I'm sure I'll hear from some of the AEW fans who are like, why didn't you put this here? It's my list. You guys can make your own list in the comments or make your own list for a video. I encourage content creators to do some great things. But this is my favorite tag team match of the year. Favorite tag team match of the year by far. Nothing came close to this. Because, you may have noticed that there were some tag team matches in the lower half, but the reason this one ranks so high is I'm not even a big Bucks fan. Not really at all. I think they're just flippy darlings and can't really do a lot of psychology, except when they want to, like here. Omega, I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't think he can do a lot of psychology, except when he wants to, like here. Hangman Page, able to shine here, and I really hope that they, 1, have him wear less colorful shirts, and 2, they give him a singles push in 2021. But that being said, despite any criticisms I have of 3 of the 4 people involved, how could you not appreciate this match? Like, really? How could you? Only, the most cynical person, and this is coming from a very cynical person, could not appreciate the psychology and the great tag match work that these 4 did. It was great goddamn shit. One of my favorite matches of the year, easily. Was actually my favorite match of the year for a time, and then got bumped down a little bit. But that's not to discount the efforts of these two teams. It was really, really fucking good. Please check this out if you haven't already. It's really fucking good. It really does live up to the hype, in my personal opinion. Then we get to number 4, Thunder Rosa versus Priscilla Kelly, Primetime Live NWA Women's Championship match. Fun fact, I actually got to see this match at the first ever Without a Cause show, October 2018, and actually got to be part of Thunder Rosa's entrance, which was really, really shocking when she does the dancing with the fans and stuff like that. I actually got to be that guy. It was a dream come true, a dream I didn't even know I wanted to realize. But honestly, both women, really, really nice, by the way. Got to meet them during intermission, that is. And seeing how much both have grown since that time, just under 2 years at the point this match happened. Thunder Rosa on a different level. Priscilla Kelly showed she really can wrestle, that she isn't just antics like people picked on her for, which is what it is, but you know what? Priscilla Kelly actually can fucking wrestle and showed it here. And the reason this is my favorite women's match of the year is these two fucking tore it up. 20 plus minutes. It's on NWA Shockwave. If you haven't gotten Primetime Live and you want to be able to see it, and you want to see it like without pain, check out NWA Shockwave episode 2. It's on there, and you'll fucking thank me for it. Both these women are fucking incredible. Priscilla rising up to Thunder Rosa's level and showing that she really can do some great stuff in Thunder Rosa, showing that, you know, no matter what person you put her in the ring with, she can get a great goddamn match out of anybody. And this showed why NWA women's wrestling should be focused on more. And hopefully the NWA can come back, have at least some decent studio audience crowds, and can produce some new content. But this showed how great wrestling was. Not just women's wrestling, but wrestling was. But this is women's wrestling. Number 3, Minoru Suzuki versus Kodabushi G1 Climax Night 13. I told you Night 13 was pretty good, and my God, how are both of these men still alive? How is Kodabushi alive? This was fucking scary. Really fucking scary. Not quite as scary as the match with Taichi, because they didn't quite do that many leg kicks, but fucking hell, scary. Did I mention scary? Minoru Suzuki, I never want to have that man anywhere in my vicinity looking like that, because holy shit, the world is gonna fucking crumble. And Kodabushi, when he gets that dark look, that's really fucking scary as well. This was a great goddamn match, though, and a fucking dream match. Really, really good shit. I fucking love this. My favorite match of the G1 by far. This was really good, but really fucking scary once again. Number 2, Walter versus Ilya Dragunov, NXT UK. Yep, the NXT UK Championship. This is my second favorite match of the year. It was almost my favorite match of the year, but I had to look back on my list. It's almost 1 and 1A. The fact I did not review this because I watched it because people told me about it. They said, watch this, you'll fucking love it. And I thought, okay, I'll like it. And I like Walter. Ilya's got a great theme, but it was like, you look at him and like, okay, he's a little bit too antic-filled. No. That's just what he wants you to think. He can fucking destroy people. And he's just a fucking pit bull. He won't goddamn quit. And Walter I got to see Walter actually at one of my first indie shows. It was the Progress Defy Northwest Wrestling co-promotion. TV doesn't do justice for how loud Walter's chops are. Walter's a huge guy. Didn't get a chance to meet him though. Didn't bring enough merch money. Not that he would have, I just wouldn't have felt right approaching him without some merch money. But Walter is really goddamn good. Really, really good. And these two, one of the hardest hitting matches I've seen in a while. Fucking great. This shows why NXT UK should be paid attention to more. But that being said, I don't have enough time to watch it. But that being said, as well, if you have not watched this, a cynical person when it comes to NXT UK will actually really fucking enjoy this. Really fucking good, hard hitting, goddamn scary. The fact that were still standing after this was fucking baffling. I cannot believe that I cannot believe that these two guys did not have to go to a hospital after this. Now, they're smart with how they work, because you can see how they hit each other with chops and strikes and stuff like that. But they said, hey, we're just going to go out there and beat the piss out of each other. Do we have a hospital, a hospital on standby? Good. We fucking need one. Yep, Walter versus Dragunov, one of my favorite matches of the year. My second favorite match of the year, because number 1, Okada versus Kodabushi, IWGP Championship, Wrestle Kingdom 14, Night 1. I almost put the Naito 1 on here, but I just had to rank it a bit lower because Okada and Kodabushi. Now, their G1 match they had a little bit later should have been ranked on this list. In all honesty, it was hard not to rank that one pretty high as well. I wish Kodabushi had won here, because I would have actually liked Kodabushi to walk out as double champion. I wouldn't have minded Naito not walking out. I would have been fine with that. But at least Naito walked out with it. But Kodabushi, I mean, him and Okada just raising the Wrestle Kingdom crowd to their feet and showing, like, hey, this is night 1. This is night 1. What the fuck do you think night 2 is going to be? Really, really fucking incredible goddamn match. Great, hard hitting. That look by Kodabushi where he just has that 1,000-yard stare, that's really fucking... You don't want that look. I mean, fans do. Fans really want that look, and if he can beat the shit out of Jay White and walk out as double champion, that will be great. But my God, Okada and Kodabushi tearing it up. Best match of the year by far. Walter versus Dragunov was close, but this is my favorite match of the year. Anyway, agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.